You've been told it your whole life. Buying a house is the best investment you'll ever make. But then you scroll through Reddit and see posts like, "Buying a home was the worst decision of my life." Wait, what? Isn't homeownership supposed to be the dream? Financial stability, freedom from rent, building equity, all that good stuff? We scoured Reddit, Quora, YouTube, and real-world data to find the truth. Do people actually regret buying a house? Or are these just outliers complaining online? Let's find out. Here's the internet's verdict. The dream. You buy a house, settle down, start a family, build wealth, and finally feel secure. No more rent hikes, annoying landlords, or living out of boxes. But online? Many are calling BS on that dream. They talk about buyer's remorse, hidden costs, nightmare neighbors, and feeling trapped by their mortgage. Some say owning a home didn't bring peace, it brought pressure. Because when something breaks, you fix it. And when the housing market tanks, you lose money. It turns out, buying a house isn't always a fairy tale ending. Sometimes it's a financial and emotional roller coaster. Reddit confessions, subreddit poverty finance, subreddit real estate, subreddit homeowners. One Reddit user wrote, "I know everyone is saying it will be all worth it in the long run, but it's left me with a financial burden. I bought the house, then lost my job, so all of my savings were depleted just paying my mortgage and car note. After I got a job, my mortgage increased by $300 due to property taxes. I tried to find a cheaper HOI policy, but everyone was quoting me $300 to $400 more than my current rate, so I just said, F it. I had to replace my roof within the first year of being here because it started leaking. The inspector told me it would hold up for 5 years, but when I saw the pictures and went up there myself, the roof was basically being held together by will and will alone. Now I have to replace the subfloor in my main bathroom because you can basically see the bottom of my tub through the crawl space. I found that out because my tub started creaking when I showered, like somebody was walking down the steps. Now my sink in the master bathroom is randomly leaking like crazy. It's just too much, and I can't afford it. I already got a second job that I start on Monday, but at this rate, I'm going to be in the hole for years to come. I can't get assistance because I make too much money. I've applied twice. Denied twice. I can't afford a loan, can't get a loan. This is all just depressing, but I'm going to thug it out and try my best. I just had to vent and get this off my chest. I've got to get to the grind and make the best of it." Another shared, "I bought my first home almost 9 months ago, and I have extreme regret on almost a daily basis. I had anxiety going into the purchase and wanted to back out because it was much farther from where I was looking, but I thought I was just self-sabotaging. It had been a long process for me, and I figured I was just getting in my own head, so I went for it, unfortunately. My commute to work and to the things I enjoy, restaurants, activities, friends, family, and more, is much farther, and it's taking a toll on me. Where I was looking, which was still within my price range, those things would have been within 10 to 20 minutes of everything. Now, with traffic, it's anywhere from 40 minutes to over an hour. I'm a single 33-year-old woman, and I feel very alone in what's essentially a suburban family area. There's not much nearby, and I feel trapped. I've tried everything people have suggested. Decorated my whole house, done projects, painted my bathroom vanities, got my kitchen cabinets redone, changed hardware, started going to therapy, and tried acclimating to the area, but nothing has helped. I enjoy being a homeowner, I just don't like the general area. This anxiety and sadness eat at me every day. For my mental health, I'm considering listing it in the spring and trying to downsize. I'm praying I can get into something else or, sadly, move back home with my parents to replenish my savings. I bought a 3-bed/2-bath single-family home for $430,000. I've put roughly $17,000 in upgrades, the kitchen, all new backyard, appliances, and more. I know the market is always changing, but how much money can I truly expect to lose? I'm nervous to talk to my realtor about it, so I'm coming here for some advice before I talk to her in January. Please be kind, I'm human. We make mistakes, and I'm just trying to figure out my options." Another user added, "My whole life, I've been told that buying is way better than renting, and that you should only rent for as long as it takes to save up and buy your own place. Well, I was naive and bought my first place a couple of years ago, a condo apartment. It needed renovations. I was hit with a special assessment. The management company is not great, and overall, I would have been financially and mentally much better off if I'd kept renting and put the money into my investments, stocks and crypto, which are doing much better than real estate at the moment, at least in the neighborhood where I bought. I consider this an expensive learning opportunity. Specifically, next time I buy, I'll follow the 50-30-20 rule for my budget. I will never again buy a condo. I've lost all trust in real estate agents. They're glorified car salesmen, and depending on how desperate they are to get the sale, they can be dishonest about the specifics of a property. Renovations rarely stay within budget. I will never buy a place that needs a complete renovation. I got lucky with my condo in that certain things, like the water heater and plumbing fixtures, were in good order, but I will never again buy a place without a condition on inspection and/or financing. Going in unconditional was my biggest mistake, and I'm lucky I didn't get burned there as well. I know I'm lucky to have saved enough to buy my own place, and with many mortgages coming up for renewal soon, there will be lots of people in even worse situations than me, so I'm not here for any pity. I just wanted to say, buying is not all it's made out to be. Your primary home is not an investment, it's an expense. Renters, at least here in Ontario, have lots of protections and can avoid the costs associated with homeownership. Another user on the positive side. I love being a homeowner. I bought my house 8 years ago, and I still come home, look around, and delight in the fact that everything I see is mine. I can do whatever I want. I would never rent again. Yup, maintenance can be tedious. I don't love cleaning gutters, but then I remind myself, this is all my stuff. I really enjoy mowing my lawn, which might be weird. I use a rotary mower, even. I was just telling my boyfriend that after the last 4 years, my garden is coming in exactly as I planned and always strived for. I've had regular maintenance costs and some emergency expenses, but that really doesn't dissuade me. I know what my mortgage will be for the next 22 years. Property taxes and insurance might go up, but rent definitely would. Plus, I paid $495,000 for my house, and it's worth $930,000 now. Another user sharing some positive views. I'm grateful. I live in the SF Bay Area, and we managed to buy in a quiet, low-crime neighborhood that's not in the exurbs. We are working class, so it feels like we've accomplished the impossible. After many years of apartment living, the only thing that's taking some getting used to is our massive yard. I just spent half the morning pulling weeds, and it feels like I barely made a dent, lol. It feels so good not sharing walls, not living next to noisy neighbors, having a high level of privacy, and just feeling at peace in general. No more fear of the next rent hike. Also, it's a small house, and I like that because I know that whatever major repair arises, we are more than capable of tackling it. On Quora, one homeowner said, "No, I do not regret having purchased a condo as a home. From an investment perspective, many say you should look at buying a house instead of a condo, but from a convenience perspective, I didn't have the time or patience to take care of the land, the roof, etc. Besides, the convenience of location was a huge bonus for me. However, the real reason I purchased a condo, financial analysis aside, is because I had one too many negative experiences with landlords. Some are great, while others are purely in it for the business side, looking for excuses to withhold or deduct from your security deposit, increase rent without notice, or kick you out to repossess the property. It gets stressful, over time, to feel like you have little control over how landlords treat you or what your long-term rent prospects will be. Beyond that, rental locations are often way out of the way when it comes to convenience. It's simply a stressful process to feel like you have no control over your rental decisions. With condos, yes, there are association fees and rules to follow, but to me, it still feels less uncertain because at least you own a place to live for as long as you deem suitable. With a house, the feelings of security and stability would likely be even greater. Of course, I could afford a condo and not a standard house at the time. I'm sure people who can't even afford a condo would appreciate renting a place, rather than stretching their budget to afford a property, only to be kept awake at night stressing about the next mortgage payment. On YouTube, in videos like, "Why I Regret Buying a House," commenters echo similar regrets. "Nobody told me I'd spend my weekends at Home Depot. I thought I was buying freedom. I bought a second job." Another one added, "Wish I'd stayed a renter and traveled instead. Owning tied me down, and I'm not even sure it's paying off." A 2023 Zillow survey found that 75% of recent homebuyers had at least one regret about their purchase. Top regrets included underestimating maintenance costs, buying too quickly due to FOMO, overpaying in a hot market. Another survey by Bankrate revealed 2 in 3 millennials regret buying a home. Even Google Trends shows spikes in searches like, "I regret buying a house. Should I sell my house after 1 year?" Clearly, this isn't just a niche issue. So why don't more people talk about home buying regret? Because it feels like failure. In society, buying a house is seen as making it. So to admit regret? It's embarrassing. Plus, friends and family often encouraged it, so speaking out might feel like you're letting them down or second-guessing their advice. But online anonymity gives people permission to be honest. To say, "This isn't what I thought it would be." To admit, "I missed the freedom of renting." To confess, "I made a mistake, and I'm stuck with it." So what is the truth? Pros of buying a house: potential long-term equity, stability and customization, no rent increases, sense of ownership. Cons people mentioned: high upfront and ongoing costs, lack of flexibility, stress from maintenance and repairs, possible financial loss. So, do people really regret buying a house? Here's the internet's verdict. Yes, many do. Especially if they rushed the decision, underestimated the costs, or felt pressured by social norms. But others still love it. For them, homeownership means roots, pride, and a future. In the end, it depends on timing, lifestyle, and expectations. Buying a home isn't a universal dream. It's a personal one, and for some, it becomes a very expensive lesson. Now it's your turn. Have you ever regretted buying a house? Or are you glad you did it? Let us know in the comments, and subscribe for more honest takes straight from the internet. Next time, we're diving into another decision millions of people question every single day.